Hi, ladies and gentlemen. They had the theater people go up first, so good evening. Hello. It's obviously a great honor to be here and to get to present this award tonight, especially during Filipino-American History Month. That's right. Now, I could go on and on and on about how brilliant I think Will Aronson and Hue Park both are, but since I'd like to have everyone here have enough fuel in their tank to applaud as rapturously for all the other honorees here tonight, I will attempt to be as brief as I can, and so I'll start by quickly re-clarifying for anyone that may be unfamiliar. No, Will and Hue are not a couple, just if you didn't know that. But since that's out there, I would also like to clear the air and finally address the much bigger rumor that I know has been keeping all of you up late at night. Yes, I am in fact their son. I could say it. Feels a lot better to say it now that it's out in the open. No, I wouldn't flatter myself. I am, though, the proud byproduct of a sublime collaboration between a white person and an Asian person. And so I am thrilled to find myself yet again as the beneficiary of that same wonderful combination with my time spent alongside these two talented gentlemen on the 2025 Tony Award winner of Best Musical, Maybe Happy Ending. Thank you. If you haven't seen it, it's at the Belasco Theater uptown. Tickets are cheap enough. That's a lie, they're very expensive, we're very proud. Much like myself, very much like myself, the roots of this show and the wiring of the show are deeply Asian, but its interface with the world is not solely defined by that, as made evidenced by the clear resonance it's had with audiences from all over the world. The prevailing feeling that people ultimately leave with is not centered around Asianness or non-Asianness, rather, not any more than people leave Romeo and Juliet exclusively contemplating its Europeanness. Audiences leave our show moved by its undeniable humanness, which is all the more remarkable considering that the show is about robots. Needless to say, so much of what Will and Hue have accomplished has defied conventional thinking, which is the core requirement of what it takes to be a visionary in the first place. The ability to see beyond perceived boundaries, beyond the most exterior of descriptors that might separate these two men on paper, and into the very heart of what connects us all: love, loss, hope. And because those themes offer such universal truths, it gives me great joy to think about Maybe Happy Ending's ability to be mounted not only in other big cities in the United States, but in small towns, overseas, and across the globe in different languages, brought to life by different cultures and heritages, inspiring generations to come and shaping the way that all people who come to the theater will think about what the art form can be at its best. And all that as a result of the collective heart song of East and West, old and new, a partnership that has given us one of the most accessible and enduring pieces of art I have ever had the great privilege of being part of. And since this award is about honoring visionaries, inspiring generations, and shaping tomorrow, I'd say Will and Hue are standing in the right place. Suffice it to say, it gives me all of the glee in the world to present yet another deserving award to my friends and daddies, Will Aronson and Hue Park.
Should we check in first? Hue, check in.
Check in.
Are you still single?
Oh, God. That took a second to realize. Yes, I am. I'm still single. I'm not happy about it.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Thank you, Asia Society, for this incredible honor. And thank you, Darren, for the amazing introduction. I moved to New York 18 years ago. I was 24, a poetry major and pop lyricist from Seoul, switching to visual art. And then I met this quirky writer. I had no idea that we'd been one day traveling the world with our shows. Before anyone gets bored, I'd like to say a few things about Will. Will is the most kind and genuine person. He taught me how to collaborate beyond our language and cultural barriers. Barriers that could be either exciting or a trigger to bring out prejudice. In our case, I'd like to say it fueled our creativity and led us to discuss our shared human feelings.
Well, meeting Hue was a shock in so many ways. He's truly a unique person and artist who brings a deep emotional honesty to everything. He's also someone I connected to artistically on a level I hadn't yet experienced.
Well, thanks, Will, but we should stop praising each other.
Okay, but I will say it's interesting how two artists from different countries can even feel closer to each other than artists from the same country, and I think maybe there's some kind of a message there. But anyway, our show had wildly varied inspirations, from British singer-songwriters that Hugh introduced me to Korean indie pop, to American silent movies, to jazz, to Asian art house cinema. The American cast was shown films of Jeju Island. The Korean cast was shown Charlie Chaplin clips. The script was first written in English, but the lyrics were first written in Korean. A workshop at a Korean nonprofit was followed by a reading in New York for Broadway producers. And at every step, we've been extremely lucky that producers, performers, and audiences in both countries have embraced our mishmash and allowed us to color outside the lines together.
We set our show in an imaginary place, Seoul Metropolitan, 50 years in the future, and yet it is filled with very real Korean references that are close to our hearts, from Jeju Island to Hwabun. On a personal level, as a team that has such a deep connection to Seoul, it's extremely meaningful to us that we can introduce these Korean elements to the wider world. Our fondest hope is that theater kids everywhere, in any small town, anywhere in the world, can dream of traveling to Jeju or name their plant Hwabun. And we hope that our other writing teams will be supported to work across individual and national divides, creating works that cannot be easily fit into boxes, but are deeply personal.
So thank you to everyone who has supported our show and the incredible artists who brought the Broadway production to life. And thank you again to the Asia Society for this tremendous honor.
Thank you.